Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering book manuscript do's and don'ts. Following these tips would save you lots of time and help you avoid lots of headaches. So you'll definitely want to pay attention to the tips in this video. By the end of this video, you will learn some insights about using AI in book writing, the one thing you shouldn't cut corners on, and even whether you should use one or two spaces in between sentences. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free resource I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. When thinking about writing a book manuscript and bringing it forward to publish it, there's so many things that you should do and shouldn't do. And that's really what this video is all about. One thing that you should do is using AI for book planning and ideas. AI is a great tool to come up with insights, to cover your blind spots, to come up with things you hadn't thought about at all, to make sure that you're not missing anything. When you go to ChatGPT or another AI tool, I often use Notebook LM. I find that to be a really good one. I will enter prompts and try to come up with insights or contrarian viewpoints that maybe I hadn't considered. When I'm writing about a book topic, I'll often think about using AI in that purpose. You know, maybe it's for coming up with an outline. Maybe it's for covering other areas of the topic. You know, when I was working on a book in the technology space with a ghostwriting client, I would meet with the client and talk through different concepts. And ahead of the meetings, I would actually, type in AI prompts in ChatGPT and get ideas for things that we hadn't talked about yet. And it helped to inform what we ended up writing. On the flip side of that, don't use AI to write the book. It's one thing to come up with ideas generated from AI. It's another thing entirely to give away your writing voice and to use the collective knowledge of the internet to write your book. AI writing is often very robotic and it doesn't have a lot of voice to it. It doesn't have a lot of energy to it. It's missing you. You are the most important element. Bringing your presence and your style and your voice to a book is such a powerful thing. And by using AI to write your book, you're basically giving that power away. You're telling the reader that my story really isn't that interesting at all because you're using the collective knowledge of the world as the foundation for your book. You know, the book is really a sense of you and your personality and your presence, and you're having this one-on-one conversation with the reader. Your message should be far and away above anything that AI can come up with on a writing sense. So don't give away your writing voice to AI, but think about how you can use AI to your benefit in the planning and outlining stages. Do format your draft. So often when a manuscript is complete or submitted, the formatting is just all over the place. It's great when you can format the manuscript. It makes things so much easier when you're moving forward with this process, moving forward toward publication. Typically, I look at Times New Roman, a size 12 font, something similar to that. Maybe a double space. Keep it consistent. Whatever you end up doing, keep it consistent. Find a format that works for you. But it's very easy to format the manuscript based on those very straightforward and simple prompts. And it just makes a lot of sense to be able to format it that way. One thing you don't want to do, don't cut corners on editing. The editing process is meant to refine and bring out the best version of your manuscript, best version of your book. If you're cutting corners on editing, it's possible that you're opening the opportunity for more errors, for typos, for story issues, redundancies, discrepancies in terms of the way you describe something or spell something. There's so many little things that might not catch your eye when you're writing a book. You really need other people to be able to edit and review it. If you're missing those opportunities and you're not working with editors to make your book better, it's likely that you're just going to pass along those problems into the final form, and then you're going to see comments when people read the book. Oh, I like the message, but I thought it was an interesting topic, but there were lots of typos and errors. This person needed another editor. It's embarrassing and disappointing when the power of your book is diminished because you didn't take that extra step. You can write a great book, but without a great editor, I don't know. There's the possibility that you publish something that wasn't quite ready. It's like taking something that you're baking out of the oven too soon. It doesn't cook the right way, and then what? It's really frustrating when that happens. So don't cut corners on editing. One of the most important things, one of the things that you need to do is back up your files. Back up your files that you work on for your manuscript. A friend of mine, Molly, I helped her with her book. She made tons of progress and was going through edits. She was working with editors, making a lot of progress on her own. And she called me one day just crying. She lost her edits. She lost the draft. It reverted back to the original version she was working with. And she lost months of revisions, months of edits. And she was crestfallen. She was devastated. I felt horrible for her because I was so excited that she was getting closer to the finish line, only to have her pulled back, and now she has to, work on these edits again. If you can, either send it to yourself, back it up, files, save it somewhere. Save these files somewhere, save multiple files. Whatever you can do to back up your files, because you never know. You never know when your computer could act haywire. If that means ending up uploading different versions to Google or to Dropbox or somewhere else, do it. It's going to save you lots of strife and frustration down the road. So just that little step could save you so much heartache. One last don't, and it's a personal preference of mine, and I know that it's kind of a back and forth thing. Don't double space between sentences. Oftentimes when you're working through a manuscript, those are going to get tightened down anyway. It's just easier and simpler to work on one space in between sentences. It's funny when I work with somebody who does double spacing because I'm automatically correcting them. I'm in correction mode. And, it's this back and forth of they do two spaces, I do one space. And it just, it irks me. So if you can, I know it's nitpicking, but if you can, think about doing one space in between sentences. It's a big benefit for everybody. It saves space. It just gets to the point quicker. That second space is not needed. I don't know when it came into practice, but stop doing it. It's not great. It's a big frustration when I work with somebody and I can tell they did two spaces. So avoid doing two spaces if you can. If you want to learn more about book manuscript do's and don'ts, you'll definitely want to watch another video that I've recorded. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called How to Publish a Book. In that video, I cover the entire publishing process, editing, design, book description, marketing, promotion, all those sorts of things, all the topics that you might be wondering about, have questions about, they're all covered in that video. So if you have other questions about the book process and want to learn more, definitely check it out. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.